You're watching Mastering Copilot Bootcamp video. In this video, we're going to learn how can you use Copilot effectively in Microsoft Word. Let's begin. We are going to start with learning how to create a new document with Copilot in Microsoft Word. So there are a couple of ways you can do it. You can either go to the FAT client and open up a new Word. And when you launch the Word, if you have Copilot enabled or Copilot license available in your tenant, you will start seeing this draft with Copilot. Additionally, you will be able to see a Copilot button on the ribbon as well. So you can always click on this button, which automatically pops up this chat area where you can do other activities as well. So we will come back to this particular portion later. Other way of accessing is to go to portal.office.com and go to Word Online. Open a blank document to create a new document. Again here, just like your FAT client, when you launch Word Online, you will see this Copilot option, Draft with Copilot, and on the ribbon, you will again see the Copilot. You can use this chat option to ask questions and write documents and summarize the document, etc. So let's go back to the FAT client. So I'm going to draft or create a new document on the cost, benefits, and considerations for installing solar panels on home. So that's the prompt I've provided. To get most out of Copilot, you have to be more specific and descriptive. I will create a separate video on prompt engineering and the best way of prompting to get the best result out of Copilot in a separate video. But here, I'm going to provide additional details like provide an introduction at the beginning of the document and a summary at the end of the document and include a table of content. So I've been very specific on what I want. So after you provide your prompt, you can click on generate. You can see that it's already started creating the content for me. So there is table of content. It's already generating content based on what they have put on the table of content. It includes cost of solar panels, benefits of solar panels, considerations of solar panels, etc. So let's wait for it to complete. So once it finishes, you can see that at the bottom of the screen, you get a new option. So you can go through this document, and if you don't want Copilot to add more details, you can click on keep it, and then you can start editing on top of it. Or you can click on this button that is going to regenerate the content in a different way. Or if you want to start from scratch, you can click on this delete button and you can start from scratch as well. What I like about Copilot in Word is this option. You can ask additional details. So for example, if you want to make this document more formal, but you like the content, you simply type make it formal and click next. So that prompt will again go through the same content and make it a bit more formal. So we haven't reviewed the document which it created, but you get the idea, right? So you can add additional prompts on top of what you have already given and you can tweak the document. So I'm going to wait for this to complete and I'm going to click on keep it. So I have created a draft from a blank document. All I had to do was ask Copilot with a prompt on what I need, and I was very specific on what I need, and I got a draft document. So that's how you create a brand new document from scratch. Now that we have learned about how to create a brand new document using Copilot in Word, let's go and learn how to modify an existing document with Copilot. Another thing what you can do with Copilot is to add more details with the assistance of Copilot or modify. Let's just suppose I'm going through this benefits of solar panel. I'm not particularly fond of what I got here. So if I want to add more details, but I don't know where to start, I can simply select the part of the document which I want to be changed or modified. All I have to do is select that part. Whenever you select something, you will see on the left hand side of the document the new Copilot icon popping up. Or if you go to a brand new line, this Copilot button starts showing up as well. So simply click on this button and you can select like rewrite with Copilot, or I can say that visualize as a table. So I just selected visualize as a table. So immediately it start generating this content in a table. So you can see that it start modifying the content and putting in a nice table format. So if this is what you prefer, you can keep it. Other option is I'm gonna go to a new line and I'm gonna click on Copilot again. I'm gonna select a new option called Inspire Me. What it does, it goes through the content and it starts generating an updated content for the user. So for whatever reason you feel like the information what you got from Copilot was not accurate, or you want some more additional detail, or you want it to go and fetch new information for you, you can always click on Inspire, and this goes and update the content by just looking at the existing content and update it for you. So if you prefer the updated content provided, you can click on keep it, or you can click on regenerate, or you can delete it. So these are some of the additional things what you can do. Another thing is, anytime you want to add any modification to the existing content, you can go to a new line and click on this Copilot button, and you can start drafting a new content by adding new prompt, or you can reference a document. We will come back to this later, or you can always click on Inspire Me to refresh or update the content, or you can simply select a part of the document, select Copilot. You can visualize as a table, or you can rewrite with Copilot as well. And that provide you with different options. So here in this particular example, you can see that Copilot provided me three different options. So before replacing, I can actually go through three different style of writing. I can pick the one which I am after. So once you select the right one, you can click on insert below. Additionally, you can regenerate, and you have a tonal option as well. So the option what I have selected now is the neutral tone. But if you want to make it as professional or casual, or if you want Copilot to be more imaginative and start adding content from search, you can select that, or you can be concise as well. So there are various options you can select within the Copilot to create the document what you're looking for. Another useful use case for using Copilot is to analyze an existing document. So there are certain times where you just want to get a quick summary, and you want to go through a document and gain certain insights. You could use Copilot to do that. So let's go and learn how to do that. So here I have a Contoso marketing plan document, which include information about a marketing plan, the different target market, some marketing objectives, strategies, some budget and cost analysis, implementation plan, evaluation, and etc. So it's a huge document. So the objective here is to quickly analyze certain things. So to do that, I'm gonna click on this Copilot button in the ribbon. So go and select that. When you do that, that immediately open up this chat area where you can ask different things to Copilot while it retain the context of the document what you have opened here. So this Copilot button have access to all the content what it is opened here. So I can start asking question. So I'm reviewing this document for the first time. So I want to quickly ask Copilot, what is the target market for Contoso? So rather than reading the whole document, I'm just going to simply ask this as a prompt and click on send. So that is going to start generating the response for me. So the Copilot is start looking for things in the document related to the question I have asked. So the response is, according to this document, the certain sectors where Contoso operates is large enterprises, mid-sized companies, startups, etc. So these are some of the information related to what it is available in this document. So if you look at the target market on the left-hand side, you can see that there are a lot of text, but it gives me a nice summary and bullet points where I can quickly just go through and get what I'm looking for. And additionally, Copilot will give me some references as well. So you can see that after um, generating some content, you have to be always watchful of these references. This will be highlighted in numbers. And when you read these answers, you know that this is where Copilot got this particular response. So while reading it, you are particularly interested to read or understand more about it, or and that takes you to the portion of the document where Copilot got that particular information. So you can have a further read on that. So references are very important, and I always use it all the time to gain more understanding. Now that I know what is the target market for Kunta, so I want to ask another follow-up question. So you can see that Copilot already started giving me some questions I could potentially ask, like what is the purpose of Contoso's marketing plan? What is this company? Overview of Contoso, things like that. So you can simply click on this question and you can start asking follow-up questions. So I'm gonna ask a question like, what are the marketing strategies for Contoso? So click send. So Copilot is looking things over and getting a response for me. All right, it almost finished up. So while generating, you can always stop generating if you want to quickly have a read on what it is generating. So let me scroll through to find out the response for my question. So I asked, what are the marketing strategies? So I can click on strategies on the document itself and read it. It's quite text heavy. I just want a quick summary, so that's why I asked this question. So according to this document, their strategy is to focus on product, price, promotion, place, people, etc. And it gives me a nice reference point to refer back to these topics which I asked for further read and study. So that's quite cool. So if I need any of this information on any other place, like I want to draft an email to somebody, I can always copy this points and send it over. And another option is there is a detailed reference section as well. So you can always click on this reference section, and that gives you pointers on where this content come from, and you can expand it further to actually go and read a quick summary. So imagine this is a quite a long document with hundreds and thousands of pages. These reference points and references are very useful for quickly highlighting and scan through things over. Another thing what I can do with Copilot is I can ask Copilot for additional questions, like summarizing a document. So rather than going through 20 or 100 pages of a document to gain an understanding about what it is, you can click on Copilot, and right at the top, you will have this option. Most of the Copilot starts with, if it is a huge document, it starts with a summarize the document. Or if you don't find it, you can simply type and you can ask the question as well. What it is doing right now is Copilot is scanning the whole document and giving me a quick summary of what it think it's is the summary of this document. So rather than going through heaps of lines in different pages, I can probably take a minute or so to just read and understand what this document all about. Additionally, this gives you an option for different reference points we talked about. You can copy this content, and you can share it with your team or email it. That's a quick way of getting it in a nice format rather than you writing it. And you can use additional formats as well. So here you can see that, do you want this summary to include more details, or do you want Copilot to make this summary shorter? So let me quickly try the shorter one. All right, so that's a quick look at how you can use an existing document uh, and gain a quick summary within no time. The summary is good. What if you want to amend some data or details to the existing document? So you are reviewing this document, you have a lot of content, and you are not particularly fond of the conclusion what it is provided in the document. So you want to rewrite something. So you can simply select the content what you are seeing. So I'm gonna select a section of the document and click on Copilot. And here this time I'm gonna use rewrite with Copilot. So Copilot is going through or scanning the particular section of the document, And I found this third option, or the second option, much better than what it is provided in the document. So I can replace it, or I can simply click on insert below, so that automatically added that particular section of I'm just going to quickly delete it. Click on Copilot rewrite. This time, instead of inserting it, I'm going to replace it. So that particular section is being re-added while deleting the existing highlighted one. So click on replace. It changed the existing content. Yeah, that's how you can use an existing document and perform certain things like summary, analyze, ask further questions to gain more insight, etc. Now let us go and learn about how can you use Copilot to format a document. This is very handy if you are not really good with formatting, which I'm not. So I use this particular option a lot. All right, so let's learn how to format a document. So this is a text heavy section. Let's suppose if I want to visually change the text, what it is written in this document, in a different format. Select the section you want to format it, click on this Copilot and click on visualize as a table. So rather than me creating a table option of this document, I don't even know how much time I would take. This is quite handy and very useful, and I didn't even know how to actually use the table layout and put it in a nice format and things like that. So if I want to keep it, I can keep it. That's a nice way of formatting things. Another formatting tip is you can use this Copilot button and you can ask certain formatting questions as well. So I'm going to ask, what font should I use to make this document more readable? So let's see if this is picked by Copilot. Already my document is in a readable format. It gave me an article which says make your Word document accessible to people with disabilities, which is quite useful. So I can click on this article and understand what are the fonts which I should keep in mind if I'm writing this document for anybody who in need for an accessibility requirement. And it includes best practices on how to fix it, what are the common things I should avoid, etc. So this is quite useful. Another thing, if you notice, when I launched this Copilot chat, is in the context, it is saying that it is using this document. So any question what you ask here, it is going to use the data of this particular document to give you a response. But you can change it to your organization data as well. So you can use this to ask additional question, fetching details across your organization's files and data. The next use case is transforming a document to an email with Copilot. This is quite simple and very effective. Let me quickly show you how to do that. So you have this huge document and you are trying to send somebody and some information about this document, but you want a starting point for that. So you can use Copilot. Click on this Copilot chat option and you can ask things like, so Copilot is scanning through the document and basically creating a quick email with all the details relevant what Copilot thinks about this particular document, which you are planning to send to somebody. So you have to always take these details as like a starting point. Don't actually copy and send it outright, but you know that it actually gave you a good starting point. So let me quickly copy this and create a new document, or like let's go to Outlook itself and I'm gonna paste what I got from Copilot. So this is a great starting point, right? So modify the recipient details. If I don't like the salutation, what it is mentioned here, I can modify it and put up my signature and add few details and send it across. So this hugely increased the productivity in terms of time saving, efficiency, things like that. I'm sure you have already seen quite a lot of use cases where you could potentially use Copilot in your day-to-day activity. So that's how you can quickly transform a document into an email. So those were the key features of Copilot in Word. Now I'm going to give you some extra prompt to try in your day-to-day activities when you used Word. I'm going to launch the Word, use a random document, and let's try some certain prompts. So I'm going to predominantly use this button. This is the Copilot button within Word itself. So click on that. That open up the chat window. You can basically ask a lot of question on this particular section. So first I'm going to ask, explain this document in 3 sentences. I know that this document is 11 pages, so I just want to quickly get a summary of that in 3 sentences. Let's see if this works. It highlights that this document is a marketing plan for Contoso, a data-driven analytics. I don't want to read it, but mostly it gives me a quick a three. Oh, actually, it is a 3 sentence summary. That's quite cool. And if something catches my eye, I can always go and ask additional questions on top of the response I got. So that's good. Let's try something else. Let's go and find a section. So there is marketing strategy. So I'm gonna try a new prompt here. List the pros and cons of marketing strategies. The response isn't based on this particular document. This is basically telling me the pros and cons of marketing strategies. I think I should be more specific. Let me be a bit more clear in the question. So I'm going to ask. So this time I reformatted the question and I asked, list the pros and cons of different marketing strategies mentioned in this document. Hopefully it picks up the content which is mentioned in this document. Let me quickly go to marketing strategies. I have a good amount of blurb here. Let's see if Copilot scans through it and find some pros and cons of things which is highlighted here. Wow, so it was not Copilot issue. My question was very generic last time. I basically asked list the pros and cons of marketing strategies. That's a very vague question. So I changed the question to be a bit more specific. The same question, but I asked to scan through this particular document and give me the differences. So it gave me a quick highlight on the pros and cons of marketing strategy mentioned in this document. I'm not going to read through it, but you get an idea, right? So you have to be more specific on what you want so that Copilot can give you the most accurate response. All right, so let's try a few additional prompt. So this time I'm going to ask. So I'm going to be very specific. I'm going to ask Copilot, give me a specific examples from this document on how I can improve it for a leadership review. So let's send it. You can change this question to suit your requirements, from leadership review to a board meeting or marketing team huddle or things like that. So Copilot is finishing up some suggestions and recommendations for me. Let's quickly go and read. It is giving me some details like here are some examples how you can how this document can be improved. Add an executive summary, a great point. And it tells me what it does to an executive summary at the beginning of the document would provide a concise overview of the key points highlights. That's a great suggestion. Include more data and metrics if you are planning to present this document to a leadership, rather than going through a lot of text blurb. You should include some benefits with some charts and metrics and data points. Clarify the evaluation process because it identified that the document has a section titled evaluation but it is empty. That's a great find. Provide more detail on the budget. 100%. So these are like amazing tips. Like I don't even know, like if you are working on documentation and your primary job is to fine tune it and provide an amazing document. If you know how to prompt and ask the right and relevant question, you could take these tips what Copilot gives you and make it even more interesting. I'm sure like using these tips you can ask Copilot to actually generate a summary. It is definitely asking you to add an executive summary. So you could ask Copilot another question. Hey, Copilot, write me an executive summary in the beginning of this document, and you can copy that and you can paste it on the document rather than you writing from the scratch, or you take the baseline what Copilot gives and you modify on top of it. Let's open a brand new document and let's try something new. So I'm gonna again use Copilot here. It's a blank document and I'm gonna ask Copilot to write something brand new for me. My prompt is, how can I more concisely describe time management? And click send. I could have asked in this section as well. I could have clicked on this Copilot button and draft it from here as well. So after we finish it, we can ask here. So either I can copy it and I can paste it here. So it says that the response isn't based on this document because it's a blank document. There is nothing in it. And it gives me a concise point on what is time management. So I'm going to ask, write a paragraph on describing time management in a more concise manner. Click on generate. Awesome. So it basically gave me a different view on the same sentence above. This time it says time management is a skill of making the best use of your time to achieve your goal, work effectively, and enjoy your life. Planning and organizing your activities, prioritizing more important ones, and avoiding distractions and procrastination. So that's how you can ask certain things directly to a Copilot and write more confidently. If you want to keep it, you can click on keep it. I'm going to close it. Um, I don't want to save it. I'm going to going back to the old document. This is the marketing document we've been using so far. I'm going to ask another question in the chat. How do I add? Even though I have table of contents, I'm just going to quickly ask, how do I add table of contents? So if I am new to document formatting and I don't know how to add table of content, I'm basically looking for tip on how to add table of content. So this basically gives me a quick idea on, hey, place your cursor where you want to add the table of content. On the reference tab, select table of content. So references are like this, and select table of content. Select table of content. Wow. So if I'm new to Word, I don't even know this functionality exists. You basically ask Copilot to show me certain things and I can easily do that as well. That's pretty smart. All right, so I'm going to ask another question. What arguments does this document make? Send, and it gives me a summary of what are the arguments this particular document makes. Let me ask another question. Who are the stakeholders in this document? All right, so let's see. According to this document, the stakeholders are team members in the marketing campaign, the clients, and the company content. So this is great. All right, so these are some of the example prompts you could start off. These are not limited. Basically, your imagination is your limit. If you do have Copilot license, start using it, start exploring it, find different use case scenarios, and let me know how things go. And let me know if you find this video useful and you find any other use cases which you have not seen in this video. Thank you. I hope you find this video helpful. I'll see you on the next one. Till then, take care.